everyone, and thank you, Ankit, for the introduction so far. I'd like to just take a moment to also recap the same part in another perspective that I see. What was true probably 10, 15 years back when we started this, and is true today as well, is essentially the business has been driven by these simple three or four assumptions. One, we continue to drive this thing with the original passion for technology that we always had. So the core of the company is driven by a strong DNA of creating very differentiated high-performance technology solutions. Second part is the perseverance. We've seen the whole cycle of business growth, and I think the strong DNA of perseverance that the business carries sort of ensures us to pass through any the biggest technical or business challenges that we may encounter. The third part is this passion to create impact. The part that Ankit said, that the utilization of the product is very important to us, and hence we track that in some ways to see it as a metric of progress or growth for us. And the fourth part is depending on very sound business fundamentals. From the earliest times, I think that's what has kept us growing irrespective of the investment scenarios or the business scenarios, which may keep on changing based on the macroeconomic climate of the season. Having said that, again, taking a cue from what Ankit said, that we started long back, and what that timeline represented was that there was no existing ecosystem for making drones or acknowledging what drones could do in our economy or in our ecosystem. What that forced us to do is to create the solution from scratch. Now, at that point of time, that was a challenge for us, which made us sort of work much harder than what any business would expect. But today, that's an asset for us. That has enabled us to have such deep technical experience in creating these products from scratch. Each of the core technical components which go into making this product perform better than most other solutions out there are enabled by our deep exposure to all of these things from building it from the scratch from the earliest time. And what that enables us to do is deliver the highest of the three words we have written here: performance, reliability, and autonomy, while trying to solve a problem with any of our aerial platforms that we make. The integration of technology stack that we've been building over time also enables us to enjoy the exceptionally high gross margins that you see our business representing today. It's not because there is any other magic to it, but it is because we are able to create these technology solutions with a lot of internal intellectual value addition on top of the raw material that we bring in, and then that helps us position ourselves in a segment we broadly call a premium segment, probably a high margin but a high performance reliability segment. But while doing so, what we also focus on is that for the solutions that we make these products for an enterprise or government, the total cost of ownership should be as low as possible. And the only way that can happen is if we can deliver the highest performance, highest reliability, and highest ease of use through autonomy for the customer. So on the performance segment, we tend to deliver the highest endurance, range, area coverage, or other such scalable metrics that these products need to exhibit to be able to do a larger amount of job every time it flies. In terms of reliability, we drive reliability metrics so that if a product is purchased, it is reliability executing its job for an extended period of time. Unlike consumer products, which require product support for probably hardly a year or two, in our case, our demanding nature of customers require product support for extended periods of time, 5 to 7 years in certain cases. And that can only be ensured by building a very highly reliable product. And autonomy for us is by driving the ease of use of a product. So today you see an automatic transmission car makes it so much easier for someone to pick up driving. Similarly, a smarter and more autonomous drone does the job more scalably without waiting for a skilled operator to be able to operate it. That indirectly reduces the operational cost of our customer, and hence reducing the total cost of ownership. So Along these three metrics, all of our technology stack drives the best of the industry and enables the lowest cost of ownership through the highest performance, reliability, and productivity.
And just to add to what Rahul mentioned, right? So the fact that we build our own hardware, we build our own software, as well as we go all the way down to working towards the solution for the end customer. So I'll give you an example. One of our solutions is that typically when you do mapping, in mapping one would need to do the actual flight to get the data. These are high resolution overlapped images which then go into a processing software where somebody puts it into processing and delivers the outcome. In one of the recent software versions, we've been able to create the ability to do the mapping piece autonomously so that it can happen on its own and you do not need a second operator to perform that function. So we continue to operate not just at the drone level but at the solution level as well to reduce the cost of ownership for the customer or cost of delivery of these solutions to them. When we look at our product portfolio, the product portfolio is capable of operating from about 20-25 minutes of flight time to more than 2 hours of flight time. And the heaviest platform that we build is only 7 kgs in weight. And that is what is our performance advantage vis-a-vis what is available out there in the market. And some of these capabilities are generally older capabilities of ours that have been leading performance benchmarks since quite a while. When we look at competitive opportunities and competitive products globally, then one of the things that I would like to share is that a lot of performance ratings are like ARAI mileage in this domain as well, where while the number is stated, it is not deliverable in the real world. And for us, it is extremely important for us to deliver the number in the real world. And therefore, you can look at our specifications as true range specifications vis-a-vis the ARAI mileage numbers for many competitors. For example, some of the products that claim 55 minutes will claim that in a scenario where they have no payload or no camera on the drone, where they are operating in very, very slow speeds and operating in no wind conditions. So that becomes so restrictive that in the real world they'll probably never get that performance as a customer. And typically that 55 minutes will drop to about 30 minutes in the real world use. Vis-a-vis, when we deliver our performance, we try to benchmark it at the highest range that we are claiming, at the climb altitude that is required to be at that range to communicate with the control station and deliver a meaningful time on target for the customer, because typically a customer is not doing this mission to just touch some place and come back. They are looking to spend some time on the target to do some genuine work, will then come back. So we focus a lot on those kind of aspects as far as the technology is concerned. And typically our top of the line in one category tries to compete with products in the next category. So if you look at some of the products in this category, which is our fixed wing VTOL hybrid category, our product on the quadcopter category competes with performance in real world with some of those platforms. So that's how we look at developing technology and building our capabilities over a period of time. Of course, our products, having been used in the real world, have been deployed for many, many occasions in many situations that we are all aware of in our environment and particularly around in the subcontinent. And that is something that truly gives us a lot of energy to continue to build this technology to make a difference on ground on what's happening and what our users are deploying it for. Rahul has already mentioned the fact that we work very deeply on the technology stack and have a lot of control on that technology stack. As well as, it's not just the hardware and the embedded subsystems that go in the hardware, but the software piece as well, where we have a lot of effort that is being put in, which makes the life of the operator very easy. And the life of the operator can be easy even further. And the drone that goes up